made it to Chirohustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. Before we dive into this powerful episode, please remember to subscribe to our channel and give us a 5-star rating on iTunes and continue hustling. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Chiropractic Rocks, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, doTERRA, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, the Influencer Authority Podcast Training, and Invisired. Let's hustle.
Hey guys, welcome to episode 373 of the Chiro Hustle podcast. I am your producer, Luke Millette, and here's your host, James Chester.
So today we had the opportunity of interviewing Dr. Lauren Kolowski, and if you want to understand how the sick care model has an impact on healthcare, stay tuned. Welcome back. This is another episode of the Chiro Hustle podcast. Today we have Lauren Kolowski coming in from the great state of Colorado. That's where I reside too. It's pretty cool. This is episode 274. I am over the moon pumped to bring on Lauren today. We've known each other for several years now, and it's been really cool to see you all grow up. And I think you said you've been doing this for 12 years now. So congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Before we jump into episode 274, just wanted to rebrand some ideas for people why we do what we do. We do protect free speech in chiropractic. I can't say that enough. I could probably say that 10 more times during this interview, and it would still need to be said more. Free speech is important, and that's why we do this show. It's why we've been doing it as long as we've been doing it. And we also protect the sacred trust. And I think that that's something that's really important. If you guys don't know what that is, go and do a quick search engine search for what sacred trust is. In chiropractic, that's so important. And, when we develop what we do, we also support subluxation and chiropractic and innate intelligence, universal intelligence. And the reason I say that every time is because I think that those constructs are so vital to the profession of chiropractic that we don't want to lose focus of that. And we don't want to veer off that course of what we support and why we support it. So now that I set the big why for us, welcome to the show, Dr. Lauren.
Thank you. I'm honored.
Yeah. So I love this first segment almost more than anything that we do. And that's your story and how did you get into the beautiful profession of chiropractic? And just keep in mind, your colleagues, your friends, your family, your kids will probably listen to this. So maybe they don't remember why you are doing what you're doing and why you're so passionate about that. So maybe share your story and let people know why you became a chiropractor.
Got it. So yes, my journey to chiropractic was one of seeking out my own health journey and concerns. Very sick young kid, very sick high schooler, very sick college age person, and even sick as I entered chiropractic school. Got my pre-med degree at University of Nebraska at Lincoln. Knew I wanted to go into health. Didn't think about chiropractic initially, but got my undergrad degree in health. And did decide to go straight to chiropractic school immediately after graduating from the University of Nebraska. And even in my chiropractic training gym, I was a train wreck. I was so sick. And I was being adjusted by some of the best doctors in the world, and thank God. And our training, as in my husband, David, and myself, both going through Palmer College of Chiropractic. And the chiropractic lifestyle was a complete and total hit us upside the head because we're so sick, we have no other choice. Diving headfirst into training and learning how to become a chiropractor and all the other facets that come with the chiropractic lifestyle, and all the while doing it because I was so sick. And a longer story that we don't have time for, but this was generational. My mother was very sick. My grandmother was very sick. And I could see the writing on the wall. My kids were going to be sick. I had to literally heal thyself. Doctor, heal thyself so you can heal other people. This was a completely selfish journey. I had no choice. I had to find answers for myself because the standard medical care was killing me. And so we were blessed in finding answers for my health which stopped the buck on making us end up having sick children. And all the while, we had the blessing to create a business out of this with our current clinic. Like you said, we've been in business for 12 years. The last 2 years, or I should say the first 10 years, were preps for the last 2 years. And I have something to tell you that I haven't told you yet, even while we were chatting before we started this, but we have people from all over the world finding us and making appointments because they are not getting help from the standard of care in their neck of the woods. Our newest patient, who I see tomorrow morning, happens to be from the UK. People don't just come out of the woodwork from the UK for no good reason. These people are sick. They are not getting answers. In fact, they're getting the opposite of what an answer would be. They are getting misinformation that is keeping them sick. And quite honestly, that's how I felt in my journey. And yet things were not so censored and things were not so, hush, hush over. They were, but they weren't. I'm just saying it's so much worse in the last 2 years. And so us as chiropractors and people in the chiropractic profession like you who are telling the story, even if they're not the chiropractor doing the adjusting, we have a big job to educate the masses over the folks who do the things we recommend are not the people who are sick. And folks like you and I, when we're over that target, we get thrown in the slammer. I think I told you earlier, I'm in the slammer right now for 90 days because Facebook doesn't like what I had to say the other day. And so I love it. When you are right over the target, the information that they censor is exactly what you need to know. And I hope people open their eyes and realize that their friends and family who are trying to get this message out and being silenced have nothing but good intentions for them. And that no governmental anyone or hierarchy of big pharma is telling you the truth that you need to know. The people who are being shut up, quite literally, are trying to save you. And you might be ignoring them because this person or this agency over here is going to shut down their voice. They shut down our voice because they're scared of what we have to say. And in industries like ours, with 12 years of experience, when you watch people dying from the standard medical care and you fix them, they want us to shut up. And we won't.
Yeah, I think it's so valuable today that we're talking about this. I was excited, but kind of alarmed in the same sense that they removed masks from people, and for being on airplanes, which I fly a lot, so it's been the one thing that I've had to like kneel down to and to accept over the past couple of years, just because if I don't, they've thrown me off the airplanes.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that there's a certain level of compliancy, even though that I'm one of the least compliant people you ever meet. I have a bigger message to go and support. So
Right.
There's some things I have to bend and not break on, but yeah, that's gone. But I think the bigger topic here is like toxicity and the physical, chemical, and emotional stressors that cause subluxation, which a lot of people just think it's physical. Like, I don't feel good, I must have done something. No, your body's sick and it's not regenerating positive, healthy cells. And that's why you don't feel good. So getting people from the UK, I think, is awesome. But when it comes to like the people today, do you think that we've become healthier because of the past 2 years? Do you think that we have a deeper level of concern when it comes to physical, chemical, and emotional stress?
Helping someone get well has only gotten harder for us clinically in the past 12 years. And if you ask doctors twice or 3 times my age, they will also say the same thing. I'll never forget when we were about to graduate chiropractic school, talking to doctors who'd already been in the field for 50 years. They said exactly that. And we graduated in 2010. And so fast forward, 12 years from then. And especially in the last 2 years, their environmental, chemical, metal, what's in the food, what's in the water, what are they injecting into us? And all those things, like you said, Jim, are the source of subluxation and the source of inflamed tissues that can't simmer down. And they are the source of infections, genetically modified. In our industry, our supplement companies are also trying to keep up with the new environmental chemicals and metals, parasites, and other bugs that have been genetically modified to affect us. From a chiropractic standpoint, that person who's inflamed by immune issues, by chemicals, by metals, they have a longer road for chiropractic as well. The chiropractor, like the guy from 50 years ago, he said, I could get people well with a couple of adjustments. And now chiropractors today don't feel the same way. Yeah. Why? Because people are more toxic, more inflamed, and the body needs chiropractic desperately. And yet we're less responsive to the positive care. So all I mean by that is not that chiropractic isn't working. Chiropractic works perfectly. It's what else is in our environment in today's modern world, toxicities, modern immune issues that are making people more inflamed in all areas, Jim. Neurological, their brain, their kidneys, their liver, lymphatics. And then the chiropractor is doing the best they can to work with all those additional toxicities. Like you said, thoughts, traumas, and toxins are what are going to be making someone having, obviously everyone needs to see a chiropractor, but having excessive subluxations. And I'm just saying clinically, we are finding that to be worse, not better.
That was my question. And when it comes down to this, yeah, people are really confused. And I would tell people this, and I just want to take it to task for a hot minute, but if people actually had a home testing kit to test their food on health that it would give them, and a home testing kit on their water or what they drank daily on the health that it provided them, they would probably dehydrate themselves because they quit drinking the water, and they'd probably go on a fast because they wouldn't eat the food anymore. So that's why people aren't feeling well, is because it's not the seed, it's the soil. And when you don't eat well and you don't give yourself good quality hydration, and we think just because we drink water that's good for us, but a lot of times people don't realize that the water source is the thing that makes us the sickest. And they don't realize that just because they're eating a lean source of protein and they're eating vegetables and fruits, even, that they're feeding themselves sick with glyphosate and things that aren't natural for the body to detoxify from. And I know that that's something you guys do a really good job of at your clinic. So it's not just the chiropractic, it's the chemical subluxation that people have nowadays that you have to get granular with people and say, hey, just stop doing this. And by the way, we're going to keep you under a good chiropractic protocol as well, but stop doing this.
And I mean, that right there, Jim, it's just so big. And again, I keep coming back to the chiropractic lifestyle. The chiropractic lifestyle is not just going to your adjustment. The chiropractic lifestyle is involved, like you just said, with being aware of what we put into our bodies. Now let's talk about that a little bit more, because I feel sorry for people. If I rewind 15 years ago when I was at my worst health-wise, I was confused. That's intentional, by the way. I was dismayed by, oh my gosh, like the food, like it's so overwhelming. I'm trying to eat healthy and I'm eating the way that people told me to eat healthy. Well, the way that we are teaching people to eat healthy, the standard American food pyramid is completely upside down. It's like this, right? And it should actually be upside down, where the thing that they are telling us to eat as the foundation of our foods should be the minuscule things that we eat for a daily diet. That's just an example. I'm just saying, I feel for folks because they are so confused with the, if you want to talk about disinformation, let's talk about the disinformation about what people should and should not be doing for their food, for their water, for sunlight, for exercise, for all the things that, oh, wow, it's almost like the things that are actually there to help us get better, we're told they're bad for one reason or another. And then the things that are actually bad for us, we're encouraged to do. Everybody's so confused.
Mm-hmm. So I think we're driving that topic home really well. Let's talk about being a mom in 2022 and what it's like to raise children and to see what's happening within the schools and to see what's happening within our communities.
Parenting is not what we thought it would be at this phase, starting exactly 2 years ago, right? I mean, I'm sure every parent is saying that, right? We were already different and we were proud of it. Our kids, already different, not vaccinated, adjusted every week, eating clean, taking supplements that I tested to see if they needed with my nutritional protocol. We sat in the sun without sunblock. We ran around in the backyard with our shoes off for grounding. We had an actual set bedtime, meaning they need lots of sleep when they're little. So anyway, we were already different, Jim. Then COVID happened. And so everything that we already believed, my husband, David, and I, we just got louder. So anyone in our life who thought we're nuts they think we're nuts in the last 2 years, that we're kind of like, no, this has been us for the last 15 years. And we just have to be vocal because now we're protecting it. We're protecting our right to be different if we want to be. We're protecting our right to do with our bodies in the healthcare realm, whatever we want. You don't get to tell me shit. I will do and I will not do whatever the hell I want with my own body and our healthcare and my children's healthcare. And so we already knew we were different. The kids could tell we were different. We were proud of different. Different is not a bad word in our house. We're in a kind way. If you're going to question our modalities of how we live, got it. Line us up. The four of us, I will stand in a line next to this family over here criticizing me. Got it. Let's stand up. Let's compare body types. Let's compare blood work. Okay, here's my blood work. Show me yours. What's your medication list? Here's mine. Show me yours. I mean, line them up. Let's compare. We are for it. We're ready. You want to point fingers at us? Like, And so, sorry, where am I going? Parenting. We pulled our kids out of public school.
Well,
homeschooling is the best thing
before you jump into this, I just want to let people know this is why I follow Dr. Lauren on social media. I don't follow a lot of people on Facebook, but because of your stance and what you believe and how you show up every day, that attracted me. So I could see why somebody from the UK would be attracted to getting care from you too. So now let's talk about kids again. You've made it to Chirohustle. Sit back and learn from the greatest influencers in the profession on the world's #1 chiropractic podcast. This episode is sponsored by Imaging Services, Chiro Health USA, Chiro Moguls, Chiropractic Rocks, Pure Chiro Notes, Titronics, doTERRA, Sherman College of Chiropractic, New Patients in a Box, the Influencer Authority Podcast Training, and Invisired. Let's hustle.
Thank you. And if you think I'm quiet for the next 90 days, I'm really not. I'm festering behind my Facebook jail sentence, okay? But parenting in today's world, find your tribe, love them hard, hug them, raise your children with them. Who's like-minded? Who is at least... Again, we can disagree and still love each other, right? Yeah. I firmly, completely believe that. Yeah. However, we can disagree and still love each other as long as you are not going to force anything upon me in order for us to get together. You know, the household's over, oh, well, the Kolowski kids can't come over anymore because they're not vaccinated. Makes me do inappropriate hand gestures. Anyway, so yeah, that kind of thing. Find your group of people, raise your children together, teach them how to be healthy, happy, peaceful, profitable, purposeful. What do your kids need to teach the world? We are all about teaching now. There are so many things that people need to be either completely untaught and retaught or taught for the first time. Get the children involved with that. Grow your garden together. Take your supplements together. Everybody watch Daddy the chiropractor adjust, or watch, if your daddy's not the chiropractor, go and watch your chiropractor adjust your brother. Let's talk about how we have babies. What about home birth? What about birth centers? What about pregnancy in general? You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, talk to your children about the ways that we do this differently than a lot of households. I'm not saying we're better than the other household. All I'm saying is that mommy's health was so bad that if we didn't live like this, mommy wasn't functional. That's how we've talked. Yeah, we do it this way, honey, because mom had to get her life back. Yeah, we don't do that. No, and that's okay if they do that. We still love your friends down the street if they got their vaccines. That's just fine, but we don't do that, and that's okay. I'm just saying, educate your children, talk to them up front. If homeschool's for you, great. If it's not, great. I'm just saying, be aware of what they're being taught.
I love that you're such a powerful voice. You're a powerful chiropractor and you're a powerful woman, and you stand for truth when it comes to raising a healthy family. And that should be, applaud. And it's not so much the comparison thing, it's setting the standard thing. And I think that that's really what you're saying when you put the family next to each other. Is it's a standard thing, and if you follow a better standard, you have a better quality of life, and it creates healthier humans. And
Exactly.
I think that's the measuring stick of success. It's not the amount of money in the bank account, but it's the quality of life that you have. And I think that that's what you're tapping into, is that you had to go on that self-discovery mission for you, in order to now be the vessel of information and care for others, which I think is so valuable. And anybody listening to this that has children, I just want to give my 2 cents. I don't have kids, but if I had kids, if I could just share quick, I'd get them studying everything in Grant Cardone University. Even though we might not see the same eye to eye on religious beliefs, but I think the guy can teach kids how to make money. And I want to create the future millionaires where they don't have to worry about if they have to pay taxes or not. They're just making so much money that they're happy to pay taxes, and not about paying less, but pay more because you're making more. And then I would teach them how to create click funnels through Russell Brunson, and how to create landing pages with Go High Level. And I would teach them how to do automations with creating ads, and creating $1 million agencies and podcasting and things like that, because it's not the 3-second TikToks that are going to change the world. It's not. It's teaching people how to assemble wealth and to manage that as they manifest into who they're supposed to be. But the game has changed. Like you said, people are sicker and sicker, but it's easier and easier to make more of an impact through the digital arena and to make more money doing so if you follow what's been done before. So that's just my 2 cents, but maybe I'll have kids someday and they'll follow that.
I love everything you just said. That's another thing from a parent standpoint, Jim. Over my husband and I, we went to undergraduate 4 or 5 years of school, and then we went right off to our doctorate program, right? Well, again, in today's world, what's going on in the colleges? I'm sorry, we've got some problems with that. So I'm not sure if college is in the cards for our kids. I'm not sure that it's going to be required, because we're pretty, like you just said, if we have the ability to help them start a business right off the bat. We do not have that figured out, by the way. My kids are 11 and 14. We got a little bit of time. I'm just saying, plenty of parents are going, maybe that 4-year college degree, maybe we don't need to do that, So anyway.
Yeah, I think power of choice. Let's reel back a little bit on chiro, because I think that we are chirohustle, and I do want to get your perception on a couple of things. Where do you see this profession going 20 years from now, and how can we make it better?
Our profession's going to go where our leaders take it.
Amen.
That can be scary. For example, I'm not here to bash schools. I graduated from Palmer College of Chiropractic in Davenport, and I pray they come around to holding the chiropractic principles and truths. The last thing we all need is one more medical office. I'm just saying, we need chiropractors. I don't want to be on the bottom rung of the medical ladder. I want to be a chiropractor. I don't want to even play that game. I don't want the comparison to be there. I want it to be strong, philosophical chiropractors. And that's going to take our chiropractic schools not looking like a med school. I went to chiropractic school because I wanted to be a chiropractor, not because I wanted to be a little bit like a medical doctor. So yeah, I mean, Jim, that's a loaded question.
Well, I think what it means is we have to step up, and we have to be those leaders.
Step up.
And we have to quit relying on other people to do that work, because the positions are open. And if they're not, let's just go take them.
I know.
So
true. I mean,
that's just it. Is the chiropractic profession's always gone against the grain a little bit. And I feel like you're right. The colleges have been infiltrated with poor staff and poor leadership within them that have sold out, that are willing to bend the rules for a little bit bigger paycheck for the next 3 years, and then they're out. And what they've done is, you've probably seen it too, they've ushered out all the historically great professors at these schools and brought in people that spin a little bit different, that won't stand with the same protection of the sacred trust. So yeah, I think it has to go fundamental again. We have to go back and take our schools back, number one. Because what I hear is people say, yeah, I only send people to 3 schools. Well, you know how many schools there are in the United States of America? I think there's like 18.
18, yeah.
And if we're telling people that we're only going to refer people to 3 schools, then that means that we have to go take the turf back. We have to go back and reestablish chiropractic on those campuses that have lost it.
Yeah.
So,
and like you said, that's at the school level, and from a out in the trenches level, we again, I mean, be proud to be different. I overuse that word here, but be loud and proud over what we offer is different. I think what you're looking for is something different, because if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to keep getting what you're getting. And so the chiropractic office should, again, be loud and proud over that, it sounds like you might have tried this, and this, and that's great. Awesome. But we do this, and this. And if you haven't tried that, we'd love to see how we can help you with your health concerns. So anyway.
Yeah. So I think that's so valuable too, is bring it home. I think every chiropractor that goes out there and becomes a chiropractor just wants to help more people. And they want to have access to people. And a lot of times, like you said, they're coming to them with unchiropractic cases that they just want somebody to tell them the truth about how to get the answers that they have. And I think, the chiropractic profession has supported that for a long time, as, being against the grain, like I said earlier, a little bit. But what they're doing is they're actually providing people the ideas of why it's important to practice a chiropractic lifestyle, and to even getting 8 hours of sleep. I tell people, create a sleep bank. Are you making nightly deposits into your sleep account?
Yeah.
Are you making deposits into your sleep bank? Are you going broke because you're not sleeping enough?
Right.
Because that's one of the pillars of health.
And in today's world, it's screen addiction. It's the different addictions there will impact your sleep, and then that impacts everything else down the line with your health. I mean, it's such a modern stuff, right? Like stuff that we didn't even, I'm just thinking, even when we graduated from chiropractic school a little over a decade ago, that are modern health issues because of modern tech and modern lifestyle. And it's a different world out there. And we, as the doctors in practice, we also have to be able to bend and weave with whatever modern, issue we are facing with our practice members. And yet at the same time, keeping the chiropractic principles in the front of everything we do.
Yeah, this is such a powerful conversation today with you. I think that there's a lot of people that are going to learn about some things about chiropractic that they may have overlooked, or may not been as in the trenches, as you said, that we are. And we see it from all the angles, because I am on the front lines. I am talking to the most passionate, smart people in the world when it comes to chiropractic, and those in the profession, those outside the profession. So I love your perspective on so much of this. Now, who have been some of your heroes and some inspirations that have gotten you to where you are today? And if you could have lunch with anybody or dinner with anybody from history, who might that be?
I am dying to meet in person Dr. Billy DeMoss. I love his personality and I love the way he gets through to people. I'm sorry. I mean, he just makes people listen. I've been at his Cal Jam event multiple times, highlight events of our years, and oh yeah, I'd love to sit down with Billy D. And I've seen Billy D speak, many times, but to, just hang with him. Dr. Sherry Tenpenny and her information to the masses about from her medical perspective and everything going on with vaccines. Like, hey, can we just question them? Is it okay if we ask a question here? Like, hi, isn't that science? I thought science was asking questions. So I just love how she has not backed down. She is just that much louder here over the last couple of years. All the voices who have been, yes, chiropractic mindset, philosophy doctors, but really in the last couple of years, just people who are loud and proud about medical freedom. And obviously most and a lot of those are chiropractors, but Del Bigtree and everything he's doing for the mission. Yeah. So next time you see Billy D, tell him I want to hang out with him. Okay. I want to hang out with you too. Can I hang out with you not through screen? Like, we do live in Colorado,
Next time I come to the Front Range, I'll hit you and David.
Yes, you are. Yes. Yes, please.
So I agree with a lot of what you say there. Medical freedom is so important, and having people that stand up and speak the truth. And even though that, the big streaming media platforms might not see chiropractors as on equal footing, they're the ones that are going to save the future of medical freedom. So just put that in your put that little feather in your hat, everybody out there for chiropractic. I just wanted to acknowledge our audience for a quick minute. If you guys have been watching this whole time, you guys are seeing some value from what Dr. Lauren and I are talking about. Put in the comments value, #value. If you're watching this on replay and you see this after we're live and you made it all the way to this part in our interview today, #replay, or if you're watching now live, #live into the comments. I think those things are really important because audience matters. And as you said, you've been silenced on your platform. Are on the major platforms, so we're not, and we just keep on growing and growing and getting bigger and bigger.
Yes, do that.
And to close out today, I know that we're at the edge of our time together. I know we could have probably talked for another hour or 2 hours or 3 hours. We probably could have gone Joe Rogan on this and talked for like a 3-hour segment, because really, if we had time for it, we would. But where can people, if they want to learn more about you, Dr. Lauren, where can I send them to?
Our brick and mortar website is insidehealth.com. We are excited because in just a few weeks, we are launching some online coursework for people. That's a first for us, and that will also be through that same website. Of course, you can follow us on social media as long as they keep us up. They're not as excited to censor our business as they are our personal voice.
All right. So insidehealth.com. I know you guys just did a huge remodel on the office. It looks great.
Yeah, thank you.
And if you guys are still watching this and you want to share this, do us a favor and share this to your page so everybody can see the message of what we're doing here at Chirohustle. And I misspoke when I introduced you today. This is episode 374, not 274. So I was 100 off.
Ooh, yes, you were. Wow.
So little known fact about me is struggle with dyslexia my whole life.
Got it.
So numbers were always a struggle for me. And until I was 12 years old, I wrote everything backwards. Wow. So here we are today.
Wow. Talk about overcoming something. I mean, wow. That's incredible.
A lot of people didn't know that. So sometimes I still have like that tick in me where I call colors the wrong thing, or I call numbers the wrong number.
Right, yeah.
So yeah. I have my own deficiencies too in the world. So just being honest with people that this is episode 374.
374. That's amazing.
And our North Star's 1,000 shows. So
amazing.
I want to thank you for being a part of the documentation and the historical tapestry that we're making here for chiropractic. And looking forward to having David on the show soon too.
Can't wait. He's excited too. So you'll hear from him. Don't worry.
Well, hopefully I did a good enough job with you today to earn his spot on the show.
Yay, of course. Thank you,
All right.
Jim. I appreciate it. I'm honored.
Is there anything I didn't ask you that you'd like to share with our audience before we jump off?
Keep it real. Live a happy life. You deserve health.
Medical freedom, guys.
Medical freedom, man. Absolutely. Yep.
All right. Well, you guys are just one story away. Keep hustling. And thank you, Lauren, for being my guest today.
Thank you.
See you soon.
All right.
Bye for now. Thanks for listening to Chiro Hustle. Don't forget to subscribe and check back next week to continue hustling.